Hey guys, before this review gets started, I just want to point out something that came out in the original recording. I There was a point where Snakeskin started ranting on Rainbow Dash and it kind of bled into the episode. I'm cutting that out. That's coming as a separate video um, because I feel it doesn't pertain to this review, and also it is very harsh, so I wanted to bring that out. And I want to say that we do enjoy this episode. Well, I do at least. He's kind of mad on it. But I just wanted to let you know that the feelings towards Rainbow Dash are not what made this episode bad. It was just what we thought of the episode. And with the Dash rant, I feel that kind of went a bit too far. So that will be coming in a separate video. But as of right now, this is just the review and doesn't have the Dash rant. So two major things happen here. One, we have a Mare-duel that's pretty much a Mare-duel 2.0 that's actually pretty good. And two, this is the darkest the show has pretty much gotten so far, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's something. I'll tell you that.
Yep. So
it was so weird. It's like not weird, but here was my day yesterday. I was in a good mood. I finally got around to playing Overwatch, and I pissed off some Steven Universe fans on Tumblr. So I was doing good for myself. Then I saw the episode, and the first thing I see is Fluttershy with animals. I'm like, well, that's cool. We haven't really gotten much of Fluttershy in the last season and a half, so this is cool. And then Rainbow Dash pranks Fluttershy, and I was just like, oh man, it's gonna be one of those episodes. And then so much happened, and so much so much was done that after the episode ended, like after I finished watching it, I had to like step back for like 20 minutes and just a metaphorical 20 minutes, and just be like, okay, what did I watch and what did it just mean? And when I thought about it, I didn't like it. So, yeah.
okay, that this could be an interesting review. Then we may have had a bit of a disagreement here.
Oh, good. I like proving you wrong.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I'm
Sure
joking.
you do.
Hashtag JK, hashtag it's just a prank, bro. Are prank channels even still relevant?
I'm
I think they're
thankful
kind
that
of dead.
I'm just thankful that that cinnamon challenge is over and done with. That was so
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah. I think after H3 said what they had to said, that kind of killed off the a lot of the prank stuff. Because first they outed SoFlo Antonio, then that Sam Pepper dude shot himself in the foot, then Rowan Atwood. Not Rowan Atwood. Then what's it called? Prank invasions was a thing, and then it died. So, which is perfect because it makes way for good content creators like us.
And then now you have really shitty national television prankers like Impractical Jokers.
Oh my
God, that
that's
show
right.
sucks.
Yeah,
Ugh.
But anyway, Weird Society aside, so here's my thing. Here's something that I actually appreciate about the episode. Trying to remain objective as possible. But so, Fluttershy calls in the Court of Owls to discuss the future of Richard Grayson, aka Rainbow Dash. Which, unless anyone's read DC Comics the last 4 years, it doesn't make sense. But they call her in, and honestly, the arguments on their side are fairly on the realistic side. Twilight and them are straight up just like, hey, man, not everyone likes pranks, and people react to them differently. And normally, when someone addresses that, like if someone taught, like if someone makes mention of the point that someone, and this is like real life and in most other media,
Mhm.
they make it out to be like, oh, that person doesn't take pranks this way, and they're the problem because they need to lighten up. But this actually went the way of being like, hey, Rainbow Dash, that that that's not cool. That's not cool, and
Yeah,
everyone reacts differently.
some of some of your pranks are really mean-spirited.
Which right here I noticed an issue because not only did Rainbow Dash remind me of season one Rainbow Dash right here, but she also reminded me of that episode where she went pranking everywhere, which kind of makes me think it's like they made it sound like that pranking was such a innate part of her character, but besides the one episode, anytime she's ever done a prank, it's been like a 5 second thing or she's cracked like a real bad joke or something. I'm not like saying that against
Mhm.
continuity in an episodic series. I'm just throwing that out there that when I think of Rainbow Dash, I think loyal-ish, but kind of a dick. But I don't think Silver Age comic book era Joker.
Yeah. So anyway, the episode starts off with Fluttershy, Harry, Angel, Mr. Mousy, and a squirrel all going, out from a picnic in the Everfree Forest. Um, and yes, don't question why I know all of their names. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say something too. I was wondering why you were going over that when I mentioned it, but I was like, oh, he just wants to show off that he knows all the names.
But they're all walking, and apparently Fluttershy lost track of time, and it's now nightfall. Dash goes in and pranks her, and from the shadows, her getup actually looks really cool. But then when she actually comes out into the spotlight, I'm just like, that is the most poorly constructed thing you can possibly do. It looks even worse than the Timberwolf string puppet from Spike at Your Service.
Man, it's like, man, I've seen Kingdom Hearts cosplayers try hard. Try harder. There's really not any
Mm,
lazy cosplayers. Some people just work with what they can, but I've seen some people just like not even like try. I don't know if I told you this, but one time I was in San Francisco, and for some reason by coincidence, like 8 years straight, we accidentally ended up there during that Pride Parade thing, which it's like okay, cool, but but I remember one time I saw someone there. They cosplay. Told me, the dude told me that he was cosplaying as Sora from Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like, okay, but the thing is that the dude just spiked up his hair kind of, but it wasn't even in that like spiky thing. It was just like gelled up. He had a keyblade, but it was made out of but he like cut it out of cardboard, and the only thing he was wearing were shorts and rainbow suspenders.
okay then.
I'm just saying once you've seen the worst side of cosplay, you appreciate little things like that. That thing from Spike at Your Service was still dumb though.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot
By
of
the
Spike
way,
at Your
one
Service was still dumb.
one of the things I do want to mention before we get into the meat of the review is there was, I believe his name was Nightstar from last week's episode. He commented and he said that that he thought that our thoughts of future episodes were influencing the score of last week's episode. And I want to kind of clarify so that you guys understand what we were going with. We weren't saying that this is the worst episode this whole season. We were saying it's the worst episode that we've seen so far. It's not really all that bad. If this is the worst the season has to offer so far, it's practically really good. But we were talking about the season so far, not future episodes going forward. We're gonna review those individually and see if there's anything that comes that's maybe a little worse or a little better.
I feel like there's a Days of Future Past joke in there somewhere, but I can't think of one.
hmm So they get into the Council of Friendship. Fluttershy's, well, AJ's like, or no, it's Rarity. She's just like, Fluttershy wouldn't have called us all in here unless she thought it was important. And I'm like, thank you. And Dash is like, well, it's funny. Why can't everyone just lighten up about this? And Rarity's like,
It's
everyone
just
has
a
things that
prank,
they
bro.
like. She's like, every pony has something they like and something they don't like. And I'm like, you're being realistic. That's awesome. Thank you.
My
Um,
thing, yeah, and that's why I was saying earlier is that the realism thing's nice, but also what I appreciate is that typically when it seems to me, whenever Fluttershy has a problem, they kind of just play it off a bit. I feel they tend to play some of her problems off a bit more for comedy. So it was nice to see that my favorite pony was finally getting some actual counselment of the rings with a problem she was having. What was funny to me as this went on is that I don't know if by the way, you were mentioning to me off camera that this episode felt like an Ed Valentine episode. I was gonna ask you who wrote this episode.
um, I know Megan McCarthy was helping out with it, but I'm not sure. It's one of the new writers,
Oh,
so I'm not quite sure. But one thing I do want to mention
I
about the
swear no
previous
writer
scene,
can nail Rainbow Dash the first time.
when Fluttershy gets scared and runs in it or leaps into Harry's arms, Dash comes out and is, saying gotcha and whatever. And I feel like it was almost like where the writers were on a bit of a chokehold here because you see where she's about to cry and then she does that really like stern, eyes almost closed look of, you really scared me. I hope you're happy. I almost feel like the writers were on a chokehold of like, oh, she's timid, she's shy, she's this, she's that. Oh, wait. We established back in Breezy's that she's not like that as much anymore. We got to switch it back. Come on, let's figure this out.
And
You
that
know
she's
what
a
I mean?
Bumblebee cosplayer.
And a awesome Celestia cosplayer.
Oh, I can't remember that. So back at the council, they're talking about what it is, and Rainbow Dash. I don't know if this was the writer's intent. I was gonna bring this up. I don't know if it was the writer's intent, but they just made Rainbow Dash look like, I'm not gonna say Rainbow Dash is smart, but she's not like a total, what's the word, blockhead either. Like, I literally don't understand how she could have misinterpreted what they were saying as Fluttershy didn't think it was funny because she just genuinely doesn't like it and it kind of hurt her feelings. I don't understand how she interpreted it as, bro, are you saying my pranks aren't funny? Bro,
Mm-hmm.
are you serious, bro? So then, oh my God, Pinky was no help here. Especially, I thought Pinky would be more involved because she was the one that told Rainbow Dash 5 seasons ago, "Hey, don't scare Fluttershy."
Mm-hmm. It's like, and then Applejack comes in with, and Prank and Fluttershy is just plain lazy. I'm like, excuse me, AJ. You do realize that she's not someone to be tampered with anyway. Stop trying to say it's just lazy to do it.
I
And
mean, I
Rarity
think that was
too.
supposed to be a
Both of
joke,
them,
but
both of them were almost challenging Rainbow Dash to go further and like try harder with their pranks. You know?
yeah, and oh my God, some of the pranks she does in the following montage. Oh my God, I've seen Jackass sketches with a little more, what's the word? I've seen Jackass sketches with a little more chivalry, I guess. No, thought process. I've seen Jackass sketches that aren't this mean before. Okay, first off, what grief does she have with Cranky?
I know.
Replaces his hair, which is really important to him, with a skunk. Then goes to Big Mac, which again, she's never had anything negative about Big Mac in any way. Throws a giant rock on his cart, which by the way could have injured his back. Then goes to
Mm,
Cheerilee, and I'm like, and goes to Charlie. I'm like, well, okay, I guess on the off chance she could just use this if she wanted to make Scootaloo and the CMC laugh, but whatever. Then this was the worst one. She puts what she like put a rock in Mr. Cake's like sandwich, and I'm like,
Yeah,
first
a
off, ow.
brick.
Yeah, I'm like, first off, ow. Second, what did Mr. Cake ever do to you? And three, seriously, ow.
Yeah. Now the first one actually is really clever. They Rarity and Sweetie Belle come in, and Dash has made a
Oh, I
cake
forgot about the
with
cake one. Okay,
the
that's actually funny.
yeah with apparently the CMC are going to be Girl Scouts this episode. Sweetie Belle's Girl Scout uniform is up at the top of the cake, and Rarity's like, it's booby trapped. I know it's going to be, and so we're just gonna make another one. And I like how Sweetie Belle takes a bite into the first cake without even like thinking. It's like, this isn't bad. And then Rarity tries the snowing machine, and it automatically melts into a cake. And then Sweetie Belle just grabs that again. This is even better. I'm like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
jelly filled. That's why.
yeah, that was great. She's like, the sewing machine cake is better than the cake. I'm just like, Sweetie Belle, never lose your smile.
Uh,
I thought
she's
that
easily
actually
the
okay.
cutest. She's easily the cutest and the most evil of any character in this show. Maybe
Oh, I
even
love that.
rivaling Pinkie Pie.
I thought, it's weird. Maybe my mind was just in a weird place, but I thought maybe Rainbow Dash had tampered with the cake, especially because, it's all light and whatever on the outside. But when Sweetie Belle bites into it, the frosting's covering her mouth and it's all yellow. And I'm just like, no, they wouldn't. But then they do the sewing machine gag. And I'm just like, that still looks weird.
Mm. But there's a couple other pranks that happen as well. One of them is AJ has set up an entire boob system for Dash, with like any knock of the pans is going to cause jingling of bells, and any rope is going to be like a smack to the face. And she still wakes up outside with the pigs.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, again, I don't want to try and harp on I want realism in my pony show, but seriously, how in the world how in the world does Rainbow Dash get Applejack out on that pig out in the pigsty? That's just okay.
The only
If they had just left
explanation.
it. If they had just left it with like the pig in the bed, that would have been a little funny. But no, she's full on outside. I'm just and like bed and everything. I'm just like, how?
Only logical explanation I can think is that AJ sleeps like a log. Like she is out cold for the night.
That or the
Maybe Dash
pigs were
slipped her
working with
some
Rainbow
roofies.
Dash.
Dash slipped her some roofies before she went to bed.
Or maybe
So
the
she just
pigs
knocked.
maybe the pigs were in on it the whole time.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, and then the other one is Spike is sending a scroll to Celestia, and Dash is up above him with a bunch of scrolls of her own, putting it down on his head each time. And then it switches to the throne room where Celestia is just drowning in scrolls. And I'm just like, you're drowning in papyrus. Are they trying to make a Nile River reference?
You know what's funny is after the episode aired, I came across a picture that someone drew. It was like Rainbow Dash getting a scroll written by Celestia for like all the overtime wages. It was like after hour wages, and then it was like medical wages for paper cuts. So I was just like, that's funny.
Yeah, totally. There
So
was another one
yeah,
I saw. There was another one I saw where it's Spike holding up a piece. It's like, oh look, another restraining order from Rarity.
man, I tell you, that's again like her choices of people to prank, like okay, Rarity and Applejack, that makes sense, but I don't get why she went after three side characters and Spike. I was just that threw me through. If she really wanted to try and be cool, Now you know what? If she really you know what would have been cruel is like I
What?
just saw this right now. Like keep this entire premises of this episode, but like Rainbow Dash turns like Starlight Glimmer on the pranking, and then like she gets super out of control, and then they like prank her back by like making the town look like the town that she brainwashed or something.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's
Do you think that's a little too
evil.
mean spirited?
Yeah, especially with her wanting to change. Oh no, it's happening again. And then she gets like PTSD from it. She already gets
Oh, never,
PTSD from the crystalline. We
never
don't
mind.
need
I'm an
any more
asshole.
for that. So
Yeah. Never mind. I'm a horrible
then
person. So anyway, yeah. Go on.
then the other all of the townspeople get up to Pinkie Pie and they're like, you need to tell her to stop praying right now because it's getting way out of hand. And Pinkie's like, oh yeah, she's been pranking up a storm, and Fluttershy's just like, she got you too. And then it shows I they're in the closet. Dash and Gummy are both hanging upside down in the closet, and they just do a simple boo to Pinkie. But it makes me think. I was thinking about Slice Life with Gummy doing the whole "what is life" thing. I bet you, new headcanon, that the best and position for Gummy to be thinking is in his is in the closet, hanging upside down by his tail, like a bat.
That's funny. So what you're telling me is Gummy is the Batman.
Well, considering that AJ tried to do something like that during Bats, I don't put it past him.
All my life I've wondered, what is justice? What is a
You know,
party?
there was actually a Batman Tumblr post that I saw that was like, it's that one. I forget exactly what it was, but it was Batman holding up his cape, and it's just like, I whispered 4 words to her, and then at the bottom, it's Batman with his mouth wide open. It's just like, I like chocolate milk.
Oh my god.
So the town comes and tells Pinkie Pie to go to Dash and tell her to stop. She goes, and for a split second, when Dash is like, here, have a cookie, and Pinkie eats it for a second, I'm just like, no, don't go back to Three to Crowd season 4, Pinkie. No, no, no.
Oh my
Because
god,
it almost
Hermione.
looked like they were going to do it. It almost. Um, but Pinkie's trying to tell her to stop it, and of course, Pinkie ain't having, or Dash isn't having any of that, and she's just like, I don't care what you have to say. I'm making these joke cookies and switching them with the Philly Guard cookies, and I'm going to make it so that everyone's mouth has rainbow frosting all over it. It's going to be hilarious.
Oh my
And
god, the
so,
amount of euphemisms that are in that is just like, I mean the rainbow colored faces, and didn't she straight up say everyone will be eating rainbow? I was just like, are you serious?
why did you have to bring that double entendre up? Now I'm going to have to
It's
be like,
so obvious.
ew, ew, ew.
I'm pretty sure the 8-year-olds would have asked about it to their parents. Be like, mommy, Rainbow Dash said that all the characters are gonna eat rainbow. What does that mean? And then they're gonna be like, why are you watching My Little Pony? I thought you liked Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack is whack, yo. That's
Honest,
how kids
there's
talk, right?
probably there's probably already a picture on Derpy Boo Boo
Oh, dude.
of
I
like
guarantee you.
one of the characters
There's a
eating
whole
rainbow.
nother. There's a whole tag for it. I guarantee you.
Oh yeah, rainbow colored face or whatever.
No, dude, just
Anyway,
call it Rainbow Face.
oh my. Okay, let's get off this topic. It's starting creepy.
All
So
right.
Then we switch to the CMC going around to everyone in Ponyville and giving them cookies. I'm thinking, you're selling chocolate? Yes, ma'am, with or without nuts. What? What did he say? I'm sorry,
They
I love that
said
episode. It's like,
chocolate.
chocolate. I remember when they first invented chocolate. I always hated it.
But you know what's funny is like they is and it was at this point where I realized where the episode was going because I could tell by like Raymond by Applejack and Rarity's whatever that bio language or whatever that they kind of already knew ish kind of and they had some kind of plan, and then especially when Pinkie Pie first when Pinkie Pie pretended to be sick, which happened a little earlier before the
Yeah.
montage, and then later
Yeah,
I was
because
just like.
her body, mane, and everything is darkened like she was the discorded form. And then you look and she's coughing and, she has the rainbows. And I'm just thinking, please tell me I'm almost just like, please no one gets sick to their stomachs. Please. I don't want that sort of mental image in my.
But it was at this point where I realized I was just like, wait, hold on. So it just hit me. I was like, Rainbow Dash is doing something that is kind of good in nature, but everyone in the world, everyone in town's getting annoyed by it, and now they're most likely gonna try and teach her a lesson by everyone unite. Hold on, are these guys seriously trying to rehash Ne'er-do-well right now? And then that's
But,
when it hit. And then that's
but,
when it hit me. I just thought about the whole episode, and I was just like, "Oh, you sons of bitches! That's exactly what you're trying to do." And it was, and it
but
is.
the good thing is they tried talking to Dash about it multiple times before they went behind her back. You know what
Well,
I mean?
yeah, I'll give them credit that they had a little more tact this time. But you know what? If by season 4 a year has passed in that time, I have to imagine almost 2 years has passed in equestrian time. And I live in a small town and everything, but here's the thing. If twice I had to have the entire population of my town and neighborhood have stage a town-wide intervention for me for a thing that I kept doing, and this is the second time it happened in 2 years, don't you think at that point they would just kind of like, I don't know, evict her or something?
She already got evicted from her home the day she turned 18 with Pinkie Pride. If Pinkie Pride's
Yeah.
believed,
Well, think
you know.
about like how many. Think about like how many people. Like you live in a small town, right? How many people live there?
Well, I live in a sect of Kenosha County, which is the town of Pleasant Prairie or village of Pleasant Prairie. I'm sure there's only good 20,000 people.
The
You
village
know,
of Pleasantry. Oh my God, that's so nice.
village of Pleasant Prairie. In
Pleasant Prairie.
fact,
Oh my God, it's like you guys must have like no world problems down there because your town sounds beautiful.
it's not actually that bad of a town. We have better salting and snowplow work than in Kenosha. They just leave everything to shit in Kenosha.
I mean, I live in a town with about 18-ish or more or less thousand people, but I'm still in California, so everyone's either stoned or, shooting each other. So, I'm just saying, like let's say Ponyville has a population of like, and this is small, I know, but it seems pretty small. Let's say roughly Ponyville has a population of close to 500 ponies. That's still enough for them to like go Stepford Wives on Rainbow Dash and like take out her brain or something.
Hmm. So then we get to the point where they're going around selling all the stuff. Dash at nightfall is just like, I'm surprised no ponies out on the streets yet. And Rarity and AJ are just like, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, no, nothing, nothing. And she's going around to all of the houses, and she's not like, she sees that cookies have been eaten, and it's like, why isn't anyone outside? And for a split second, you see one of the ponies in one of the houses walking slowly past the window. And then it goes to Sugar Cube Corner. where she goes downstairs, and it's like, Mrs. Cake, I think I may have had something to do with Pinkie Pie being a little sick today. Do you know where she is? And you just see her, you hear the noises of her eating the cookies. And by the way, William Anderson, props to you for the music here. You have stuff that sounds like it's coming straight from Sleepy Hollow. Because you know that one like eerie creaking sort of sound? It's
Yeah.
actually made when you take a bow for like a cello or a bass or whatever, and you slide it across a cymbal with that weird zinging sound.
Oh, that's cool.
And oh yeah, you can actually do that to like a vibraphone too, and have it go. So cool. I'm sorry, I did one of the band things I had in high school. What we did, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. But anyway, we also we actually also did this one where it was called Chaos Theory, and the guy who composed that was actually a composer for, I believe, Strider, which is pretty awesome. And he came to our town to play along with us on his electric guitar.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so you see her eating the cookies. Dash taps her. She turns around with the rainbow face. Cookies! Cookies! I'm like, dear Lord. She falls back. Pinky comes out of cabinet, cookies. And then you see Pound and Pumpkin Cake coming around the corner. And this whole time, right before it fades, I'm just like, dear God, this is creepy.
Yeah,
Like, it seriously looks like a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, that's one thing I actually got to give positives to the episode on. It's like the imagery and the music like were there, and I gotta be honest, like how out of the norm this was for like the usual setting and everything. Like you would almost think it was like a fan animation with how different it was, but no, but it was like, atmosphere and tone were actually pretty cool, especially the part where they hold themselves up inside Fluttershy. And remember that's going around and like finding all her friends have been rainbow zombie did. And
Spike and Twilight do it in the same spot that Spike was like, is it zombies from Bridal Gossip? The same spot right by the fountain. Which, by the way, that's also I'm also thinking of that Zomboy reference from Ponies the Anthology 5. Is it Zomboy? I'm sorry, that was cool.
Yeah, I like they totally should have gotten Zakora involved in this. She could have used her magic on everything. That'd have been sweet.
Yeah, she could have used her green mist powder thing and made it all creepy. Made it like a green haze or something like that. Which we haven't seen Zakora at all this season, have we?
No, the last time we saw her was the season 5 finale.
We need Brenda Critchlow back. Holy crap, she is too good.
Hashtag
but
bring
anyway,
back the Krenslow. But yeah, so I was getting back to tone and atmosphere. It was actually pretty cool. I really dug it when they took it to Fluttershy's house, and I think that's where they were, and they boarded up. They boarded up the place, and they were like talking about everything, and I was just like, man, that was like Walking Dead when it was still good.
Well, this was back at Fluttershy's house. Or yeah, no, it wasn't Fluttershy's house. It was AJ's house,
right.
Or a barn. They are boarding up everything. You're seeing hooves trying to get through, and you're seeing them pushing against the door. And right before this all goes down, they're back at the they're back at Carousel Booth, and Rarity's like, would anyone like a cookie? There's plenty more to go around. And Dad's like, don't touch those. And when they get in the barn, she's like, I may, and AJ's like, the Philly cookie recipes haven't changed for years. It's not like there's a new ingredient. And Applejack seemed really mean-spirited here. It's like, what did you do? I'm like, calm, woman.
Dude, honestly, just knowing how Equestria works, someone in her family probably invented the recipe.
Yeah, how they invented the Derby.
Because apparently the Apple family is the single most important economic conglomerate in all of Equestria, and whatever synonym appropriately applies to that.
That's maybe why Diamond Tiara's mother is so horrid towards Apple Bloom, because she's just like, oh, you're relating to the apples? Ew.
Yeah, she's probably just like, what good is $1 billion in the world if I can't use it to stimulate the economy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that how rich people talk?
Her father
I'm super middle class.
Her father was Donald. She gave her a small loan of $1 million.
A small loan of 1 million bits.
Yeah.
A small loan of $1 million.
I hear there's probably going to be a Donald Trump pony or a Hillary Clinton pony somewhere in here.
Dude, I hope not, just because that would get this show all kind of bad publicity.
Uh-huh.
They're not like South Park where they live off that.
Yeah. So it's like, I may have switched them with joke cookies and it's making them all sick and zombies, and I'm surprised the CMC actually played along with it so well. And because seriously, I'm just like, you guys sounded like none the wiser. That was pretty good. But then you get where Rarity, like, I'm sorry for that, darling, but we already have eaten them. And AJ kicks open the door. They're all coming right at her. And it's like, stop. This was supposed to be a prank, but it's not funny at all. And Biggie's just like, well, of course it's not. What it was supposed to tell you that this is the kind of thing you're doing, and it's not funny.
Right. On the merits of this episode, like basing it solely on this episode, I legitimately just kind of, I mean, on the episode alone, I give it a 6.5. Like, it's better than the last episode, and it did have some great things about it, for me, mostly when the zombie thing started, but, for the most part, I was just kind of about it. And I feel bad. I honestly feel bad for feeling meh about it, just because, like, you could tell they really put a lot of work into constructing the episode and the atmosphere and the zombies and everything. So I don't think it went to waste, because again, even the worst episodes of the show are still pretty good. But
So I would again, this is one of those big episodes where we're gonna really disagree. For me personally, this episode, I give it a 9. And the reason is, I would give it a 10. Here's the two big things, though. One, it took way too long to get to the great part of this episode, which was zombie scenes. And two, it felt like they were trying to go a little bit too much into rewriting Ne'er-do-well. And again, with pranking in general, most people who are the victim of those pranks hate pranks in real life. And because honestly, there's only about 10% of the whole population in this world that actually enjoys pranks, and most of those are the people who pull the pranks.
Yeah.
So I feel like the message could send a bit of a bad taste to some of the little girls watching this, some of the younger demographic, because they could think, oh, pranking is harmless fun, don't take it too far. But again, pranking is not fun for most of the population, so you got to be really careful with that.
Which I think they did try to do, especially in the beginning where they tried talking to Rainbow Dash. I think that's why they had Rainbow Dash interpret what they were saying wrong. So so obviously wrong is to kind of like characterize what the other side of the argument basically feels about it in some way. Not like all the way, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So yeah, that was 28 Pranks Later. Honestly, to me, a really good episode. To you, a meh episode. But, so.
I mean,
Yeah, do you...
You know what? I'm leaving the fandom.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just.
Who
It's
am I
just like
gonna get now?
I was just thinking about it. I'm just like, man, that rant made it sound like I was gonna like pull a Brony Curious and just pull a smell you later to the fandom.
It almost sounded like that. So, but
Plus,
again,
I wasn't gonna be all Evangelion about it. If I ever did leave a fandom, I would. I mean, of course. I mean, if I ever did, I would either just probably tell you and the people, and then that's it. I don't see why people make such a big deal about it. It's just a show.
yeah, but so yeah, that's it for our review. And next week is the Changeling episode, so I'm really excited about that.
It's a Spike episode and it's a Changeling episode. Let's go.
All right, that's it from me, John.
And me, Snakeskin.
And we will talk to you guys later. Peace out.
See ya.